Hello, this is Rory with the Love Chat, and today's topic is why do dumpers rebound? Now, this is video number 226. If you have a question you'd like for me to consider featuring on the Love Chat, please write it in a comment below, and if you enjoy my videos, I would be so very grateful if you'd subscribe and hit like. Now then, why do dumpers rebound? This is one I get a lot. And it's understandable because so many people after a breakup are anxious about so many different things, and there's so many questions, so many different topics people want covered. But this is one of the ones that comes up the most, and I'm a firm believer that knowledge is power. And so maybe if we understand why somebody does something, it gives us a bit more peace, and hey, if you walk away feeling even 2% better, then this video accomplished what it was supposed to. So why do dumpers rebound after a relationship? And maybe as a follow-up, we'll do why do dumpies rebound? So, getting into the subject matter of the video, basically dumpers rebound for a couple of reasons. The first of which is almost always loneliness. They rebound because they're going to be lonely. They've just spent months to maybe even years with you, and so the first thing they can think of doing is, getting with somebody else because they don't want to be alone. Because nobody likes being alone. It's not something we enjoy, but it's something we can learn to enjoy. Because when we're alone, we can embrace ourselves and learn to focus on learning new skills or maybe a new language, something like that. There are things we can do, but they don't feel all of the sadness and anxiety and fear that we feel, at least not at first. So the first thing they can think of, and the most pressing thing on their mind, is loneliness. So what do? Well, they either monkey branch, meaning they've lined somebody else up and they kind of swing to that person. And of course, the dumpy thinks that they've been left for that person, but that's kind of ignoring the greater context, but I'll table that part for now. They go to another person and they usually date that person. Usually they make too many mistakes with that person and then it blows up. Now, why does this happen? Well, they weren't ready to love. The person that they were dating was a means of not being lonely. So that's the first reason. Okay, why else might a dumper rebound? Well, the next most common thing you're going to see is that they are proving that they are able to do whatever they want to do. They are no longer bound to you. And rebounding can mean more than just a relationship with someone new too soon. Rebounding can also mean, maybe they're going out and sleeping with a lot of people. Maybe they're going out and you're seeing all of these different behaviors that you're not used to seeing from them. They're changing up what their hair looks like. They're going out to the club and you're like, they're not a club person. What is this about? And you're seeing all these different behaviors, and what's really happening is that they're emotionally regressing. They're acting younger than they are in an effort to prove that, they're still young and they can do whatever they want, and time is still there. It's still on their side, even though it's just an idea. Time was never against you. But B, that they are no longer accountable to the person that they have dumped, which is possibly one of the reasons they broke up with you in the first place, is they felt like they were being controlled. So, yeah, a lot of the time you're going to see them doing things that don't make sense to you. You're going to see them on Facebook or Instagram or whatever it may be. Look how happy I am with my new partner, my new person, or, hashtag freedom, or whatever the hell you might see. It's how they're feeling right now. Loneliness, we all know, because most of you are feeling lonely right now. Loneliness is a powerful emotion, and it will get you doing some really goofy shit if you let it. So the whole point of it is we're able to say, look, let me get into their head a little bit. Let me figure out what's going on. Knowledge is power, and if I know what's going on, maybe it won't impact me as much. It'll still hurt, but it will hurt less. Okay, so far we have loneliness, and then we have breaking out of the bonds of whatever they assume was them being tethered down, right? They are proving to themselves and to you that they are single now and they can do whatever they want. And if that means dating someone new or dating 10 people new or doing all of these drastic new changes to their life, you'll see that. The third thing on the list, though I'll admit that this one's rare, is anger. They're angry at you. They're spiting you now. And this one we really don't see very often. It does happen, but usually they're not going to do things to themselves to hurt you. Usually they'll do things to you to hurt you. So I don't really want you guys to worry so much about this one. I have almost never heard of this in my coaching clients. So I don't think it's worth your time to consider. But the dumper is rebounding because perhaps even a mixture of these things that I've mentioned. And I'm sure some of you in the comments below can list a couple extra reasons why dumpers rebound. But basically, it stems down to this. When I break up with somebody, I don't want to be alone because I know it's going to be painful. I know it's going to hurt. Because the person who dumps you isn't necessarily going to have an easy time. The dumpee is afraid of that because no contact. There's no magic ball you can look into to see how they're doing, because if you had that, you'd feel a lot better. If you saw them on their bed crying at 2 a.m. and they're thinking about you, you would feel a lot better. But because you don't get that feedback, you just assume that their life is going amazing. Because what do? What's your window into their life? Social media. When is social media ever true? When is social media ever the entire picture? Never. Right? I might take a selfie on a beach and say, having such a great time, life's amazing, #blessed. But maybe I won't write down how I got fired earlier that morning. Maybe I won't write down, when I stubbed my toe on a rock 10 minutes prior. That's just the nature of social media. We want to highlight our life and show you the best parts of it in an effort to gain validation. And that's ultimately what a rebound is. It's validation. The problem with rebounding is that they almost always fail. Now, a big concern for dumpees is, but when does it not fail? Well, a rebound can work. It's possible. It's definitely less likely, but it is possible. When can it succeed? Unfortunately, there's just not enough data on that. But I would say that if they appear to be taking their time and going very slowly, then that's something that might be a bit more likely to succeed. But frankly, the majority of relationships fail. So I don't know why we're concerned about rebounds. And oddly enough, that gives me some sort of comfort, because that means that, sometimes an ex is going to rebound, and sometimes they're going to snap out of it and realize it was a bad idea. But that doesn't change what you need to do for yourself, which has always been the same. It's always been love you. And that seems to be the hardest step for everybody. We are so uncomfortable with ourselves. We're so used to being with someone else that we'll put our life on hold. And look, I get it. For what I do, I am notoriously bad at breakups. I suffer for months to years whenever I'm going through a breakup, even if it's a breakup that I initiated. But I practice what I preach. I go to the gym. I go to counseling. I journal. I take long walks in nature. I travel. I talk to new friends. I practice what I preach, guys. And what I can tell you without any doubt in my mind is that it makes everything much, much easier. It improves your position. It makes it so that you go from thinking about them for 30 hours a day, if that's even possible, to thinking of them once a week. So imagine what you guys could do if you really applied yourself. I mean, me, I sit in front of a computer and talk about breakups all day, so it's going to be a little harder for me to get away from it. But for you guys, imagine what you could do. That type of shit gets me out of bed in the morning. You have no idea who you could be. That's all I had for today. If you found my video helpful, I'd be very grateful if you'd subscribe and hit like. Please leave a comment below and tell me what topics you want me to cover in the future. Additionally, if you'd like extra videos every week, private live streams with me, and free giveaways of my best-selling book on Amazon, just visit my Patreon. Patreon.com/thelovechat. Until next time.